the guy who is going to succeed is the guy who is thinking, what's the most amount of value what I can offer for $1? Like the other way around of thinking. When you have $500, you don't look at your limited amount of capital what you have to look at the money what you have and what's the most you can do with that money to grow your business. It's not about testing to see if it works, because it works. Like Amazon is the almost the biggest company in the world. Last year I met a seller who is doing I think 10 million a year, and I started talking about Facebook groups and some of the tools what people are recommending to launch your products and stuff like that. He hasn't even heard about these tools. I'm like, oh my god, because he's using basically a simple step-by-step processes what you have to do to launch your business. Test different products, use influencers and stuff like that, like common sense.
Welcome to the second video of Final Peace Talk, and I have Olav once again. So hello, Olav.
Thank you for having me, Augustas.
How many times we'll be shaking this hand?
In every video, I hope so.
Okay, let's make it a tradition. So in this video we want to talk about what do you need to start on Amazon, what do you need to do, some technical steps. I would like also to talk about the steps in your mind. So let's start about technical steps. What exactly is what do you need to start selling on Amazon?
First, I can share my personal experience. When I started out selling on Amazon, and I registered my business in US, and I was living in an apartment with 6 other guys, and one of them was an entrepreneur as well. And he said to me, you can register a company in US using a legal Zoom. And I did that, and I paid about, I can't remember, about $400-500. And after that, basically the company was registered. I received all the documents in few weeks, and I set up bank account, and you're good to go. This is basically what you need to start out selling on Amazon. But you don't need a business to start out selling. But to have a business to sell on Amazon is just a norm when you're doing business. Because when you're contacting suppliers or you're doing anything in your business, then people are going to ask your business name.
And so if it's a European person wanting to start on Amazon in US, do you suggest to start a US company or to sell with a European company?
You can start out selling as a company in Europe. From my recommendation, if you have a US company, then after 1 year, it can be even sooner. Amazon is offering you a loan as well. They have called Amazon Lending, so that's a good benefit to get capital to grow your business. If you have a company in Europe, and it can depend from the country, and if you would like to get a loan to support your business, then for example in Estonia or in Lithuania, Poland or any of these countries, even Finland, Sweden, where Amazon isn't that big, banks might ask like, what is this Amazon business, like how you're making your money? And it might be difficult to explain, but I'm not sure. I haven't asked for a loan from local bank in Estonia to support my Amazon FBA business because I have a US LLC. And to get the loan from Amazon, it basically works with 2 simple clicks, and they are going to transfer your money in 2 days. And they're even giving out loans like this for $10, $15, $20, $50,000, and it can happen just like that.
All right. So basically, to register, if you want to register a US company, you can use LegalZoom website. I also registered US company 1 year ago, and I used mycompanyworks.com. I was very satisfied with their service. I was even comparing to LegalZoom. It was even cheaper, and they were very responsive and quick. So bank account can be an obstacle if you have a US company and you are not living in US and you don't have SSN, the social security number. How did you get your bank account?
When I first registered my bank account, then I was in US. I could just open a personal bank account. And to have a business account, I think you need an ITIN number, but it's basically a social security for foreigners. And you can apply for that. Or there is another option, you can get your CPA. If you have your company registered in US, then basically your CPA can be a co-signer for your account, or any of your friends who live in US. And I think there's some companies who are offering that service as well, opening a US bank account. So mostly when people are saying from some countries all the time, I would like to start out selling on Amazon, but I can't do it because my country isn't allowed to sell on Amazon and I don't have a US bank account. So that's all wrong. You can do it. These are just misbeliefs what you have. You can just Google opening a business in US, opening a business in UK. You can do that online in most of the countries, and you can even register a bank account online. If you want, you can register a bank account in Estonia online. You can do it. You don't have to go to Estonia, and you can start out selling on Amazon.
Yes, so you mentioned these countries which have problem opening business accounts on Amazon. I know Slovenia has certain law which prevents Amazon to accept Slovenian businesses. I don't remember any other country, but I'm sure there are some. So basically, I think sometimes also I see people going too much, overthinking this step of opening business before they even start doing anything. So they think this business opening and a bank account maybe it's the most important, but I would suggest to go with the first option, probably, which is the least resistant. If you live in Europe in a proper country, just use a company registered there. If you don't like their high taxes, then you can consider maybe doing some tax optimization as well. But I think before you have any kind of money, it's not necessary to think too many levels up.
Yes, of course. A lot of people think about everything. They want to plan their taxes. Of course you need to think about it, but you should first think about making money. Once you make money, then you pay someone to take care of your taxes or anything else what you need to be doing to run your business. So the first thing what you need to do is just need to focus on how you're going to build your business. And you can just set up a business bank account, an Amazon FBA account, basically set a central account. It's just step-by-step process what you have to follow.
Just make sure that all your documentation Amazon is asking is synchronized, especially the addresses and names on the documents the Amazon is asking is matching each other. Let's say a bank account statement, your personal bank account, the I don't know, utility bill, whatever they ask, the bank account, the bank address information should match. I've heard like few stories where people try to open the Amazon account and then they got suspended the next day without possibility to reopen. Okay. And just because maybe instead of it was said Barcelona district, it said on the utility bill Barcelona region. So because Barcelona was the same, but the district and region are two different words, and Amazon didn't like it. I even heard such things, especially with Lithuanian addresses. So yeah, company is there. What else? We registered on Amazon.
So register a seller central account, and after that Amazon is going to ask you different documents, like just as you said. If you live in US and you have a US business, it's pretty easy. Let's say if you are a seller from Europe and you want to sell in US, then they might ask for different information, and it might change from time to time. But basically, as you said, you need a utility bill, your bank statement, or anything like that to just prove your identity, and probably a copy of passport or driving license, anything like that. But it's not that difficult. It's just a working process and it takes time. But you can start out looking for products and doing different things what you need to do to start Amazon FBA business during that as well. You should not wait and see this as an obstacle what's basically stopping you.
One obstacle can be also finances, right?
Finances. You need money to do this business.
How much money do you suggest when you talk to people?
You can start out with $500, and I know some people say it's not possible. There's a really good book about the power of broke by Damian Johnson, the guy who started Fubu, and he has a mentality like when you're starting a business, the less money you have, the better it is. Because some people, when you have too much capital, then they're going to make mistakes, because you're thinking about just that you're going to order a bunch of products from China or from anywhere else. You're going to list these products on Amazon, and if these products don't start selling, this business doesn't work. But when you have limited amount of capital, for example $500, then you really have to plan your every step. You would have to do everything you can to make this business work. Maybe it's selling your product door to door, and some people say I'm not going to do it, but if you would get $100,000, would you do it? Of course everybody says I would do it, but here's the secret. When you do whatever it takes, like implement the power of broke mentality, even if you have the money, always think like that, then you will be successful. Someone said, I can't remember the name, is the man who's going to achieve is not the guy who has basically $1 and thinks what's the least amount of value what I can offer for $1, for example restaurants and stuff like that. But the guy who is going to succeed is the guy who is thinking what's the most amount of value what I can offer for $1, like the other way around of thinking. When you have $500, you don't look at your limited amount of capital what you have to look at the money what you have and what's the most you can do with that money to grow your business.
So okay, we have a company, we have money, or we don't have money, but I think what's in the mind is the most important. So we already touched a little bit. When you open the account, or you open the company, you might overthink, or some people might stop there. Also, having money or no money might also stop some people. But what kind of mindset do you think can bring you to a successful Amazon business?
When I started out, and one of my business partners with who I was doing real estate agency work basically, then he started out selling on Amazon as well. And you can see the difference from him to anyone else. I know people who have been trying to start out selling on Amazon for 3 years and they're not successful. But he started out and he has that mentality, to go after what you want, because you need to do whatever it takes to get the results what you want. And he succeeded, and people who have the same mindset that you need to make this work, you don't have an option to fail, then you're going to succeed. It's not about testing to see if it works, because it works. Like Amazon is the almost the biggest company in the world, or it is the most valuable company at the moment, and there's thousands of sellers who are making money, so it's possible to do it. It's not about anything else. It's about just going after it and doing whatever it takes, even if it needs to be selling door to door. People say I wouldn't do it if it gives me $20 from that sale. I didn't want to do it, but if everything depends on that, you're going to do it. But you never know. When you start out with little steps, even if it's selling door to door, and you can sell your business later on, for example, $100,000, then would you sell your product door to door for like 3 months to get $100,000? Of course you would.
Yes, I think also I catch myself very often using the word try. I will try this, I will try this. In reality, I want to do it, and okay, let's try to do these videos, which we're doing. But don't you think it would be good to eliminate the word try somehow, to just say, let's do it, we do it, and well, if we fail, we do another thing.
It is important. Some people start out selling on Amazon, like what I've seen. They say, I've been trying to sell on Amazon for 2 years and I've not been successful. Then I ask, how many products have you launched? I say, I'm pushing my one product, I'm trying to get sales with my one product, So what have you done for 2 years? Trying to make sales with your one product? Like, it doesn't make sense, You need to launch new products and you need to try different things to make it work. So you can't really, if you would be selling door to door your one product, it's a different story, You can really go out there, knock on the doors and ask for feedback. Maybe you have to change anything, then you would maybe offer another product. For example, you would sell cooking products and the person says, everybody on this street, nobody eats pasta, they're all eating pizza. Then maybe you should sell pizza stones, So it's like a different way of thinking, but when you would need to test different products. When you're going to launch one product, you're not successful for 2 years, you need to launch new products and try different angles to make it work. And once you have that mindset and you're looking at the big picture, that you're not just making $10 a day, it's just you start with something, with what you have from where you are, and the goal is to get to where you get at least 6 figures for your business when you sell it. And it's really hard to see it when you're starting out. That's why most people don't start. They're like, okay, what do I make? I made like $150 last month. Like, this leads me nowhere, you know, I'm wasting my time. But you have leverage with your Amazon business. It can really start growing. For example, in Q4, the sales can really go up and your business can really take off. So it's not just the first sales what you're getting, you have to see the big picture.
Do you think you need to set some goals when you start Amazon business? Do you set any kind of goals? You had now 2 businesses of Amazon FBA. Do you work with setting goals yearly or quarterly? Or
I usually, like in terms of money, like the income or the business revenue.
Any kind of goals maybe?
Yeah, set goals, but I have kind of long-term vision goals and I have the smaller goals as well. And I'm not setting like, let's say I would like to make $2,000 or $3,000 a month or something like that. Now I'm thinking like I would like to get it to, you know, get it to 7 figures, then get it to 8 figures and stuff like that. And I'm planning for it and I'm doing everything I can. But sometimes even I can fall behind and make mistakes, and these mistakes can cost me money. But that's okay because all successful companies are doing these mistakes. But it takes time.
I think it's also important maybe to have some kind of coach or to talk to other Amazon sellers which are doing similar, so you can spot each other's mistakes or some wrong movements. I think some kind of masterminding with other people is also can be very useful at the beginning of the business.
Yes, of course. Last year I met a seller who is doing, I think, 10 million a year. And I started talking about Facebook groups and some of the tools what people are recommending to launch your products and stuff like that. He hasn't even heard about these tools. I'm like, oh my God, you know, because he's using basically a simple step-by-step processes what you have to do to launch your business, you know, test different products, use influencers and stuff like that, you know, common sense. So you don't really, I mean, you can use these tools, but you need to have your head right, then you're going to be successful.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe one day we will have to record an episode about what we learned from other $1 million sellers. You met some sellers, I met some sellers, and it's interesting to see their mindset and how they do business. All right. I know we didn't structure this video very well. We talked about different things, but I hope you got some value out of it. And any other words you want to say to finish?
So basically we need a couple of things. We need to have the right mindset that I'm going to do it. We need a Seller Central account to sell the products. You can start out as individual or professional seller. Recommendation is to start out as professional seller, and to have a business, it's just a norm to doing business. And that's pretty much it, what you need to start out selling on Amazon.
Money.
And you need money to start out. If you don't have the money, then believe it or not, most businesses start without money. Nobody has money. We all start from the same position, at least most of us.
At least when we're born.
Yeah. At least when we're born.
Yes. All right, so thank you, Olav, for this interesting conversation. I hope you got a final piece in your mind. Maybe you heard some idea or some website we mentioned, or the book. By the way, what's the book you mentioned?
The book is The Power of Broke.
The Power of Broke. It is about how it's good to be broke and make mistakes, right?
It's a story of Damon Johnson. I think that's the right how you pronounce his name. It's the book by the founder of Fubu.
What is Fubu?
Fubu is basically it's a brand for clothes. It's a hip hop brand.
Is it a Estonian brand?
No, it's American. Like, he started out selling his products from his car trunk. So basically, and he was basically testing the product, like doing the same thing, you know. People were saying you should sell hoodies instead of t-shirts. So, okay, I'm going to order hoodies.
Perfect.
So you should check out this book, check it on Amazon and buy it and read it.
Yeah, we will put the link below this video. Also, we will put links to our websites, to mine and Olav's. And see you in the next video.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments, ideas, feedback, suggestions, please comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Orange Klik. And If you want to learn more about my work and Olav's work, please check the links below this video, and see you in the next episodes.